Welcome to the Functional Fitness Assessment tutorial for the Lifelong Improvements Through Fitness Together, or LIFT program. I'm Samantha Hardin, and with me today is Liv Smith, who is going to help us as we demonstrate both visually and verbally how to conduct each of the stations within our functional fitness assessment. Let's get started. One of the first things to do for your functional fitness assessment is to ensure the participant that you are going to be really enthusiastic and lively during your LIFT classes, but for the purpose of the functional fitness assessment, we won't be offering any encouragement. For example, when you're doing some bicep curls for 30 seconds, we won't say, keep going, keep it up, you're doing a great job, but rather you will just continue to count across the 30 seconds. Here's an example of how you would do that with your participant when you're conducting your functional fitness assessment. Hi, I'm Samantha.
Hi, I'm Liv. Nice to meet you.
I'm so excited that you're joining us for the Lifelong Improvements Through Fitness Together, or LIFT program. Today I'm going to be doing a couple of different stations to test lower body and upper body flexibility and strength, cardio fitness, and agility through an 8-foot up and go. I'm going to explain each of the stations as we move and progress throughout each of the stations, but I won't be able to offer encouragement. What I really want you to focus on is safety and staying within your range of motion and what you're capable of doing today just as you are. If anything ever feels uncomfortable, feel free to just opt out of it or take breaks as needed. Let's get started. The first station is the balance station. There are 6 different assessments within the balance station that are progressive. And we use the word progressive because if a participant completes the first assessment, they move on to the second and the third and so on. However, if they cannot complete the full 10 seconds of each of the assessments within this station, they do not progress on. To get started, we'll place hands on the chair. You'll bring your toes and your heels together and you'll gaze forward. When I say go, you'll release your hands from the chair and bring your palms out in front of you and then hold that for 10 seconds. So when you're ready, go. And release your hands back to the chair. So as you could see, I had my left leg a little bent so that I could be in a ready position just in case for safety. The next thing we'll do is we'll bring our toe to heel alignment in what we call a tandem stand. Hands on the chair, and when I say go, you'll remove your hands from the chair, gazing forward, palms by your side. And when you're ready, go. And release. Then come back through mountain pose, gazing forward, hand on the chair. When you're ready, start to shift your weight into one leg, and when you release your hands from the chair, I'll start the timer for 10 seconds. And release. Now we're going to come back to tandem stand, which we're familiar with, is that toe to heel alignment, hands on the chair. And then when you're ready, you'll release your hands, palms come back down by your side, but this time eyes closed. So chin and gaze is still forward, but eyes are closed. And when you're ready, begin. Release, hands to chair. Staying in the tandem stand, when you're ready, you'll release your hands from the chair, close your eyes, and gaze over left shoulder and right shoulder continuously for the 10 seconds. And when you're ready, begin. And release. The final one, we'll come back through our mountain pose. We'll have our hands on the chair, lifting one leg off the ground, then close eyes and release hands by your side for 10 seconds. And begin. Release. A couple of quick pointers for this station. If at any point they lean into the wall, they come away from the wall, or they look dizzy, you stop the clock, record how long they were able to hold that pose, and do not continue. Our next station is the 30-second chair sit and stand. First, you demonstrate for your participant, make sure that they understand what you're asking of them, and then you go ahead and let them demonstrate for 2 trials. So here's how you would do that. I'll go ahead and demonstrate the chair sit and stand. You come to the chair, cross arms over your chest. Feet are firmly planted into the earth, and you're sitting about mid or towards the front of the chair. I will start the timer and say go. You'll stand up and sit back down as many times as you can for 30 seconds, and I'll keep the timer going and take counts. We'll then give a 30-second break and do trial number 2. Any questions?
No.
All right, have a seat, arms crossed, and begin. And stop. And you give a 30-second break. Here is where they might take a sip of water or just relax before their second trial. And trial 2 begins. Go. All right, so the most important things for this station are that your chair is against the wall, so that just in case they press back, that they start middle of the chair rather than too far forward or too far back, and that hands are crossed so they're not using the leverage to stand up. You also do 2 trials with a 30-second break in between. Next station is the arm curl. So that's testing our upper body strength. We ask the participant which arm they'd like to do for the trial, so they typically choose their dominant hand or side. You indicate that on your scoring sheet for left or right, and you track that for the pre-assessment, post, and 6-month follow-up. So the other thing you do is you demonstrate how to hold the weight for your participant. So we're trying to get the full range of the bicep motion, so the weight starts facing away, and then when you cross the elbow or midway point, you bring the weight out to the side. So the fingers curl towards the chest. So you'll bring the weight up and out and back down. A couple of other really important cues that you share with your participant is to keep the elbow locked in towards the torso. So bringing the weight up and out and back down. So it's the full range of motion continuously for 30 seconds with a 30-second break, and then a second trial for another 30 seconds. Okay, the other thing you do is you encourage your participant to slide closer to the side of the chair on the arm that they will be testing. So which arm will you be using today?
I'm using my left arm.
So then I'd invite you to come towards the left side of the chair so that we can clear hip, thighs, and the chair while we're engaging in this exercise. The other thing that we invite you to do is to squat down next to your participant or grab a chair for yourself if that feels better, so that you can ensure that the elbow is close to the torso. Rather than touching our participants during their functional fitness assessment, you'd remind them by just saying elbow closer to the torso. If they continue to do any variation that isn't elbow towards the torso, don't count those reps until they return back to the proper form. And I will let you know when to begin. And begin. and stop. I'll take that from you and you get a 30-second break. We're now ready for the second trial. Here's your weight. I'll let you know when to begin. And begin. And bring elbow back towards your torso. Good. All right, torso, elbow connection. And stay within your range of motion and release. I'll take that from you. Great. So 2 trials with a 30-second break in between. The most important things about this station are that the elbow stays locked to the torso, that it's a 5-pound weight for the female participants and 8-pound weight for male participants, and that you record which arm they're using during this trial. As you could see through our demonstration, Liv was getting a little tired through the second trial and brought the elbow away from the torso or started using momentum to swing in. And you can just gently remind your participant to bring the elbow locked closer towards the torso.